Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network, brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila is brought to you by those who drink it. We come to you after the Giants and the Jets play on this Sunday on the Mike Francesa channel, on the Bet Rivers Network, on YouTube. Let me take care of the Giants quickly. We knew going in that they were outclassed from the head coach to the water boy. Okay. That's how the game played out. Jackson showed you why he's who he is. The Giants showed you who they are. I'm glad Neighbors got himself a touchdown catch. Good for him. But listen, there's nothing to say there. It is as complete and utter a mismatch as you could possibly have in the NFL right now. And it played that way. Okay. That's the bottom line. So there's nothing to discuss there. Let's get to the Jets. You would think, you would think that the Jets would maybe this regime's not going to be here. We know that. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be here. I told you I'm for bringing him back. I know a lot of people are against that. If they think they're going to find a quarterback who plays better than this guy, they're out of their minds. Okay, but that's beside the point. Um, I want to take away his power. I want to put together a real coaching staff. I want a real offensive line. I want a real running game, because the things that jump out at you today in their win against Jacksonville, they beat a bad team. They beat a team that's been haunted all year, just like they've been haunted all year. The Jets today, again, after last week, having the ability to basically end the game and not doing it and letting the game go to overtime and losing it. Today, again, they had a chance to end the game. What are they doing? They have no concept of how the game is supposed to be played in time and situations. They admit we have failed miserably at situational football. Failed miserably. You guys don't even have a remote clue of what is going on. If that game had come down, now it didn't. Okay, it ends on an interception. You're playing a bad team. If that game had come down to Jacksonville winning on a 2-point conversion, there'd be no way to even explain what went on here. This game was over. It's over. Do the math. They're going to give them the ball back with like 13 seconds left and no timeouts. And instead, they give them a minute and two timeouts to play with. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's criminal. It's actually criminal. And the faster you can get these coaches out of the building, the better. What drives you crazy with the Jets is their inability in the red zone and their inability to run the football, because they don't have it conceptualized how to run the football. They don't understand how to run the football, and they don't understand how to run and manufacture good offensive line play. If you put Rodgers behind a real offensive line with a real coaching staff and a real running game, he is going to be so much more efficient than he's even been this year. And this year, he's got 23 touchdown passes, 8 intercepts. He's had 5 touchdown passes dropped. He's had 29 passes dropped, more than any quarterback in the league. They're third as a team in drops, but some of those teams have multiple quarterbacks. He has had 29 passes dropped, including 5 touchdown passes dropped. The I mean, it's unbelievable what is going on with this team, and they don't understand how to utilize the running game. They will almost always either use a gadget or a pass on first down when they get in the red zone. The way you are efficient in the red zone is to run the football and throw the ball off the run. That's how it works in the red zone. If you try to throw the ball only in the red zone, you will not be efficient in the red zone. And it has killed them this year. Okay, and their defense was shoddy at times today. And of course, they missed a field goal, but at least they got a win. And yes, you know what? What you saw in them is you saw a Hall of Fame quarterback going through a rough season who was incredibly happy by that victory. That game meant something to him. So don't think that player doesn't still have pride. And don't think he and Devontae Adams don't still have pride in what they do. You could see today how much pride they still have and how much that game in December, which was their fourth win in Jacksonville in a game nobody cares about, they cared. They cared. And they're going to care the next couple of weeks because they have pride in what they do. And that's why I would bring him back for a year. Okay, I know that is a thought that most people don't have. People want to argue that he can't play anymore. If you don't think he can throw the ball, you're out of your mind. Okay, is he the same player he was 10 years ago? No, of course not. Then he was an all-time great, one of the best players to ever play the position. He's not that player anymore, but he's still a highly, highly efficient player. And if I had a coaching staff, a real one, and an offensive line, a real one, and a running game, a real one, and you let him just play the position. Understand he has no power. Take that away from him from an ownership standpoint. If you can't do that, then get him out of the building. If he's too much of a personality and he overpowers you and you can't say no to him, then get him out of the building. But if you can, and he can just be the quarterback, let him be the quarterback for a year. Draft the quarterback. It's going to take you years to develop him. Let him start his development in the quarterback room where there is an all-time great quarterback in the quarterback room. But bring real coaches into this regime. There are their coaching staff is so utterly pitiful. It is hard to even grasp how bad it is. This team, with any modicum of coaching, could have 9 wins right now. That's not even a rash statement. That's how bad it has been. And today, another example. I mean, a game they could have easily blown and would have blown probably to a better team because they don't have any idea what they're doing. Last week, the game was over. They gave it away. They've given away so many games. It's pitiful. It's impossible to even just grasp how bad they've been. I mean, is this guy kidding? He told the announcers this week, "Hey, we really messed up the end of the game last week," and then he turns around and did it again this week. Even the announcers are killing him, saying, "What is he doing?" It's the difference between good coaching and good coaching in this league and what we're seeing with the Jets is so outrageous. It is unbelievable. It is so pitiful, the coaching they have. It is amazing. It is utterly amazing, and they do anything but run the ball. They get the ball after a pass interference play. They get the ball, I think, on the 12-yard line. They have the third down guy, which this Davis now, I guess, is their third down guy because I guess Allen's hurt, but this guy might be their third down guy because he showed a couple of glimpses last week. He's in the game on first down. Why is he in the game on first down in the red zone on the 12-yard line? Why? Because they're not going to throw the ball. They're not going to run the ball. You have to play the game with a running game. They have played around the running game all year. They've had Rodgers has talked about it. Rodgers talked to us about how bad the running game is. They don't have a running game. And you have one of the top guys in the league. And he has been, I don't know how hurt Hall is, but remember how good he was? I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on there. They have to get back to playing solid football. And if you had with their nucleus, if you had solid leadership and coaching, this would be such a different team. It would be unbelievable. As it is, they've had so many opportunities to win games that they have just flitted away. One after another after another. They tried to give you another one today. Adams with a big second half. Okay. We know what Adams can do. We know what he is. We know what kind of receiver he's been. We're surprised he has 198 yards second half. He's capable of that. Okay. They made some plays. Got a couple of flags. Made a couple of plays. Get a couple of touchdown passes. He should have had one to Lazard that I think Lazard should have carried into the end zone. He didn't. It was a nice defensive play, but Lazard's got to hold on to that ball. But Lazard never holds on to the ball. So, I mean, that's another one. That would have been another touchdown pass. Bottom line is they get a win, which was nice. You could tell they were happy. Okay, they had a long trip. They haven't won in the state of Florida in a long time. Not anywhere. Not in Miami, not in Jacksonville, not in Tampa. So it's been a long time since they've won there. So they get a win in the state of Florida. Good for them. Okay. And it was a long night for them traveling. So be it. They got a W and they looked happy about it. And the Giants, hey, be happy it was only 35-14. It could have been worse. Could have been worse. And now the Giants are on their fourth quarterback. So hey, well, I guess they have to bring in another one and then go to a fifth quarterback this year. I wonder what the record is for having quarterbacks take snaps for your team in the season in the NFL. I wonder what the record is. At least Neighbors got himself he didn't get 100 yards receiving, but he got himself, I think he was 9 for 82. What was he? 10 for 82 and a touchdown. So at least he got a touchdown. He hasn't been in the end zone in a long time. So at least he got himself a touchdown today. Now, there wasn't much in the 1 o'clock games. One thing I was saying to Harrison, who's home from school, most of the kids coming home from school. I have one of three home already. So I was saying to Ha, who's a big Chief fan, I said, Ha, be careful today. This is a dangerous game because your tackles are so weak and their pass rush is nasty. And then I wasn't watching, but I know Mahomes left the game with an ankle injury. I don't know the extent of it yet. But hey, Carson Wentz had to play. So I don't know the extent of the injury yet. Hopefully, we're not dealing with anything serious. The Chiefs went to 13-1. Mahomes left with an ankle injury. I don't know the extent of that. The 4 o'clock games today are very, very good. That just got underway. Really good games, including the Bills and the Lions. Uh, Colts and Broncos, which is a very big game. Dolphins lose today. Tua throws 3 picks at Houston. Houston is not the same team, and they cannot get their passing offense going at all because they can't protect their quarterback. Their offensive line is falling apart. Uh, Colts, if they win that game today, can run the table. They have 3 easy games after this. A big game against the Broncos. Eagles and Steelers today. Bucks and Chargers is a big 4 o'clock game. I see the Bucks are on the scoreboard right off the bat with Mayfield throwing a touchdown pass to get things started. So very good 4 o'clock games. A good late game with the Packers and then the Seahawks. 2 games tomorrow night. The Falcons will be very revved up if the Bucks get beat today by the Chargers. I see already that the Bucks are on the board, as I said. So we'll see. But you got some very, very good 4 o'clocks after sitting through these 1 o'clocks. But at least for you Jet fans, it was a really good day for Adams. Pretty good day for Rodgers. Good day for the Jets. They get a W. So hey, for a couple hours, it's better than losing another game. It's the best way to put it. As for the Giants, hey, only one more home game. Only 3 more games. Only one more home game. That will be Week 17 against the Colts, who will need that game in a very big way, especially if they win today against the Broncos. And that will be a game where there will be limited fans in the building, and because the Colt fans aren't going to fill the building, and there'll be a lot of demonstrative Giant fans who will be very unhappy, I'm sure, as the Giants zoom towards what they hope will be the number one pick in the draft. Imagine that. Boy, could we have ever imagined the Giant season being this bad? I mean, there's bad, and then there's bad, and then there's off the charts bad. And you wonder if it gets so bad that it makes management change their mind. They clearly have so far sided towards bringing the duo back. You wonder, can it get so overwhelming that they don't see a way to do that? Especially since when you look at it now, if they're going to draft the first player in the draft as a quarterback and allow them to develop them, they got to give them more than 1 year fairly. It's not. It wouldn't make sense. You're not doing the kid any favors if you're going to change his coach and quarterback after one. If you're going to change his coach, his offensive coordinator, and his quarterback coach after one season, you're not doing them any favors. You're really not. So all that has to be taken into account these last 3 weeks in what has become just a nightmare. There's no other word. The Jet season is a complete nightmare. The Giant season where expectations weren't nearly as high. So the fall hasn't been nearly as far, but it has been really just dreadful, utterly dreadful. We'll see you later.